Hello everyone. Happy to be here with Adriana, the founder, the main founder of StatInf, a company that I was very happy to meet. So some of you may know that I've been actually living in Paris for the past years. And I actually met with the Angel Group that is currently leading StatInf's round with Angels Club. So, and this was a very happy referral. So, as Romanians living in Paris for quite some time, I was very happy to meet Adriana and the DeepTech startup that they've been launching. So, without further ado, I'll invite her to introduce herself and give us a bit of background about her and her co-founder, and then how they came and how StatInf came to life.
Thank you, Eric. Hi, everyone, and I'm Adriana Gogonel. I'm the CEO of StatInf, and I will already share my screen so you can. So I don't know where you see me now. I think here, so I have to take this one.
We can see your screen, but I think we can see like your Slack, not your deck.
Yes. So I'll do the. Is this?
Yes, that's perfect. Yes,
okay.
Yes, we can see your screen.
So some words about StatInf. First, we provide tools and services for the timing analysis in the real-time embedded systems in avionics, transportation industry, defense, and automotive. So to really explain what we are doing, it's you have to understand that when a new model of car or plane it's getting out, in order to put him on the market, industrial have to do a functional validation, meaning that they have to assure that all the programs are doing what they are supposed to do, but a temporal validation too, meaning that they have to assure that the programs takes the time they are supposed to take to do what they are supposed to do. So StatInf is doing temporal validation for the electronical part of an embedded system. So the story started in 2019, the story of StatInf, but Liliana and I start working together in 2012, yes, in 2012, after my PhD thesis, I did a postdoctoral position at INRIA under the Liliana's how do you say
Guidance, supervision.
Supervision. Thank you, Eric. So this is how she was already working on those in this domain, of course, before. Liliana is a researcher, now a director researcher at the Institute of Computer Science in France, and during my postdoctoral position, we started to put probabilistics into her area of research. And we had 2 patents that we co-authored together. And this is why we wanted to do a company, so that we can transfer all those advances, research at the time, advances and patents that would have been a waste if a company wasn't created to support them and to transform them into technology and into a commercial product. Today, StatInf, it's a team of 12 people. So the 12 that you don't, we are recruiting an UI UX designer, but we do have a 12th person, but it's working like a freelancer for us because he's a British guy, and it was like the simplest way for us to work with him. So what is the world of embedded system? For those of you who didn't heard about this term, actually, it's a way of saying all the program running to a processor that it's not plugged at his energy source. It's an embedded systems. So the world of embedded system is actually everyone's world. All the locomotion we may use have an embedded system. All the on the land or under the water, on Earth or in the space, we use it every day. We use it in the medical care. We use it in the in logistics, and we will use it more and more every day. So what does StatInf bring in this world that already exists? We bring safety. We eliminate the probability that a Toyota car or other electrical car may have an unexpected acceleration problem, or that Ariane rocket will explode at the launch. So why now? Actually, in this world of electronical evolution, there are a lot of advances, as we can all see. Everything is advancing very fast. For example, the processors, so they used to be a processor of one core, and now we have only multi-core processors. If we do have it on our phones or our computers since 8 years now, know that they are still not used in the critical domain. We call critical domain a domain where a failure may bring human loss. And why is this? Why don't they use it still? Because actually, if multi-core processor were invented in order to have a faster execution of the programs, because they can be executed in parallel on different cores, we may actually see that even if sometimes we have very short execution time, we may have very long execution time too, because actually those programs will share anyway some resources on the processors. So we will have what we call anomalies. So very, very long timing that the program take to be executed, to do what it is supposed to do, that industrial don't know today how to deal with it. So what they are using today as a solution for timing analysis, it is not it doesn't cover those class of processors. The only one that are being constructed today actually by the processor manufacturers. In the same time, the programs become more and more complex. So in order to do certification, industrial will use either a only deterministical solution, either from one of our competitors that you'll see later in the presentation, either for the solution that are made by themselves, let's call it homemade. And both of them are deterministic, meaning that they are doing like sums of local maximums in order to have the total maximum of the ensemble of the programs. But actually, if a program is too complex, for example, for programs, you can't do that anymore. That the complexity of the calcul will explode, even for a computer. Because of the same thing of lack of a precise analysis, the processors that are used in the critical domain today are oversized. For example, Airbus, an Airbus plane will use its processor at 25% of its capacity. So the rest of it, it's in case of a failure. And another problem that we will solve, we are already solving, is the development cycle. because the kind of analysis that they are doing today, it takes a very long time to be done, and it is the same time that they will take each time that you will have changes in your code. With the solution that we bring, you only have to take the time to set up the software, and then it will really take no time each time you do changes, and we can really spot where the changes had an effect and see what happened just there and not look all over the code. So the solution that we propose is called RocqStat. It can be used during the design, ideally, as a software quality tool, but also during the test phase, or even in the case of an incident as a firefighter. So RocqStat allows designers to have reliable analysis, benefiting from improvement of test and software optimization by reducing interference between the programs so that they can run safely while minimizing energy consumption. We will interfere in this part of the V development cycle in the construction of an embedded system, knowing that here are companies like Mathwork, ANSYS, or Dassault Systèmes, doing so all the clients that they may have today, those companies that have like 500 millions of turnover yearly, they may need us on the other side. So using RocqStat, it will have a reduction up to 96% of the time that developers take to do their electronical part on board of an embedded system. The competitors we have, I was talking earlier about the deterministic part. So this is Absinthe, a German company that is providing this solution. So they can't go on multi-core, neither on too complex codes, softwares. The British competitor Rapida, actually, it is not used in all the critical domain today. They may be used in automotive because for the certification you don't need mathematical proof for the worst case execution time that you might bring. But also we can call it a competitor, and it's the one that we try to have it already, is the internal tools of our customers, because you may have company like Safran in France that still not use any solution, outside solution for the timing analysis. So our first market, it's the embedded systems market, because further on it will be all the IIoT and the edge computing market that are even larger than this one. So if we consider then that we can have only 5% of the aerospace market and 17% of the automotive, then we may capture up to 40 million of this market, so a turnover in 2025, knowing that in 2025 we will be also in States and in Asia. Up until now, we had the customers in France in the avionics and defense. MBDA is the defense one. Actually, all those we sold the evaluation license and the proof of concept to all those guys. Now we took our time, so having their feedback on this first use of the software. Actually, we kind of did all the analysis for them and provide only some executable, some in command lines that they could do by themselves, as we didn't have any interface yet for the product, for the software. So this is what we've done this year, and we have now already the first version with the interface very well advanced that we will deliver at the end of the year. We have already started the commercialization for this new version. We have our first 5 clients, so among them some of them that are here, not all of them, because not all of them end their evaluation license period. Thales Alenia Space, for example, and CNES and Airbus Defence and Space are still doing their evaluation. It will end in March next year. But for the other one, we think of starting to do some turnover this year too, maybe 100K up until the end of the year. We had the turnover of 147 last year. So our strategy now is we have our packaging that it has his final form. We have a recurring license, yearly one, 70K for one token, and we count on proposing on. We already started, as I was saying, with Thales Avionics and Airbus helicopter in Germany, an evaluation period of 1 year, and after that proposing them a free one. So for 1 month, a free evaluation license, and that then if they order within the next 3 months, they will have a 10% reduction of the 70%, 70K that our license is. So in 2024 we will put some more features. They are kind of technical ones, so I won't keep long on it. So adding some more features, knowing that Airbus is still using Absent today, and they told us that we have to have all the features that Absent is providing in order for them to switch to StatInf, because they cannot pay 2 different suppliers doing the same thing. So they are very, very supportive and optimistical in buying a full license next autumn, see if we do have all the features. So, and we will have it because it's already starting to be included. So from the point of view of where we will be, the market. So and in 2024 we already go in Europe, and in 2025 we estimate that we will have the shoulders to go in States. 2025 will be maybe the year too where we'll try to do a Series A fundraising. Speaking of fundraising, this is our current tour. We estimate we need 1 million extra funding. We have actually, we are the winner of a 48 months BPI call for project next to Renault, Alstom, Keolis, and EasyMile. And it gives us $1.5 million grant for the next 4 years. So we do have the resources, the fundings to continue providing our tool and do our roadmap of the tool with the team we have today. But it will take longer, and it would be much faster and better quality if we could have some specialized people, you know, like lead developer, or a product owner that we are looking in 2024. We need some more senior engineer, actually one in statistics and one in for static analysis. We would have to put in place a support engineer team, because we don't have today is the same developers and our research engineer that do support, so it's slowing us down. And we need a commercial guy, and then by the end of the next year, even an head of sales. So this was for me. Now, Eric, if you have questions, I'm all
Absolutely. Thank you so much for the presentation. I think the initial question that I'm having is, how did you start? You mentioned a bit already about the fact that you worked at INRIA, but if you can tell us a bit more, what INRIA is, what were the kind of projects that you were doing there, and how did basically StatInf become a company?
Okay, so INRIA is the National Institute of Research in Computer Science in France. Liliana was already a researcher here since 2007. I joined the team as the statistician to help her with the statistical part of the estimation of those worst case times that program may take. We were working on a European project with Airbus, and then there was a follow-up. There was two projects that followed each other, and actually in those projects it was also Rapita, and we did work with them for 6 years, and it was also Barcelona computer science in that project. And actually, if we did submitted our patents, it was because the Barcelona team didn't understand very well the IP in a European project, and they were starting to publish things with results, and as they were belonging to all of us, all the consortium partners, and it is not the case. So INRIA put some propose us to put the patents. The patents belong to INRIA. Actually, during this project, Airbus found our technology, the one that will survive the multi-core generation processors. And in that project also, they understand that they can't use Rapita, and they don't like they are only doing measurement actually on Rapita, and they are very intrusive. So at the end of the project, Airbus told us that if you want to, we think that could be a solution for industrials, but it can't stay as an academical prototype. We can't buy it like this. We can't use it like this. So if you transfer it to the industry, we would love to use it. And this is how the idea came in, but not to create a startup. We at first we thought that we could find a company that already exists and to transfer it to it. And we thought first at Rapita. We thought, yeah, maybe they could, but actually Rapita wanted us to continue developing as until it becomes a product, and then they will take it. But we could at an research institute, you cannot create a product. So we forget about that. So then we went to a French startup that already exists, and we realized that they didn't have the vision at all. They were using like a brick as it was back then, and now when we see what we've done with that, we realize that it was been a shame. So this is when getting out of this French startup with Liliana, we realized that it's only us that could do something with that technology. So we said, yeah, okay, let's create a company. What have we to lose on it? So yeah, it was a very beautiful very beautiful period finally, and actually it was like a game to us at the beginning. We didn't think that we had the stars in our eyes, but we were reasonable and we said, okay, it might not work. So it was like a surprise year after year that when we saw it working and it working and it working even better, we were like, oh my God, this is really gonna work. So this is how it started.
And can you tell us also a bit more about the use cases of the clients that you're working with, in the sense that is the product that you're giving them, I mean, you mentioned safety as being one of the main things that you're providing, but can you tell us about also efficiency in terms of time to market, in terms of costs? So why would someone use StatInf's products?
Actually, when we do the KPIs, we could see that very fast, actually, up until 25, and we revisited that graph. I have to update it, but because it's even it will grow even faster, the cost for an industrial. So actually, there's the most of the time that they are spending when building an embedded system, for example, a rocket. Ariane 6 didn't get to launch when it should have. I don't know. They have like a 2 years delay now, and it is because the software part, it is not ready yet. So it takes them a lot of time to do. Each time there are changes, they have to do test, and they have to test, and they have to test, and they test all over again. It's like a huge code. You can imagine all the critical function, put it together. It's a huge thing. And actually, what we can do for our client is that we will spot exactly where the problems are coming from. We will tell him, yeah, you don't now you do that changes, and you can see you have this WCT, and it is obtained by the program doing those paths. And actually, we can see that if he did that, the WCT, the worst case execution time, is done, by the maximum here, and we can see that there's like a class of values that are higher than the others. So we can spot it in his code where exactly this class it's interfering. So he can go and do exactly that. So that this is making them win a lot of time. It's like, for example, all the analysis with now he's doing changes, and he's doing all this all over again. And he could do that, like in a half a day. He already knows all the changes, how something that he would have taken at least 2 weeks to do before. So it will be a gain of time. It's incredible for them. So when you say gain of time, you say gain of money, because it's engineer times that we are counting. But then the blocking point, it is at the beginning, where they don't even have the time to test another tool. So this is where our challenge is, to make them want to do at least that 1 month evaluation, and to see, wow, how life-saving, life-changing it is for them. And then for some of the programs that are very complex, they could not even do the analysis. They will be stuck. They don't know what to do. So
and also in terms of I'm wondering, given the complexity of what you guys are doing, but given also how important it is, Is there any question? Is there any reason why, other competitors haven't built this so far? Is it, you mentioned the fact that the world is transitioning to a multi-processor systems, but somehow still heavy industries and in critical industries haven't made that shift. How is there any reason why is that?
Actually, historically, they were afraid to go on probabilistics. Because they say probabilities for them, it's not when you say probabilities, it's not something sure. You have probabilities. Actually, it is sure because it's a mathematical model, and you have a value, and you have this probability for it to occur. But up until where they didn't accept that you can't do it any other way, they were not ready to leave mathematical models coming. So it should have been somebody that already, but it's like we did research all this time on this in this area. So when they were ready to accept it, that is the only solution that can be used, we are already very advanced in our what we are proposing as a solution. And if a competitor will start now, then it will take a lot of time. For example, Absent, if you want to change the way they are functioning and add some mathematical models, then it will be hard for them to. It will take a lot of time to keep up with us. But for example, Liliana saying that maybe sometimes in the future we could buy Absent, because the part of static analysis, they are doing this in an excellent way. Now we are doing this with we take a academical tool and do our paths on it. In order to not to do it all over again, to start from zero from the static analysis.
Mm-hmm. Understood. And can you tell us a bit more, now you're somehow also still early in the days of the building of the company, but what are your next, what are the next milestones that you're aiming as a company, looking at revenues, looking at potential next rounds, and then also exit plans?
So in I don't as I was mentioning this this French consortium that we belong to, that gives us 4 years grant. So it made so this is the bias that I have concerning the Serie A that I might see. And actually, but I think next 2024 will show the commercialization will go very fast if we have the team in front. So we will do the effort to have a larger team. So who say a larger team, then selling might be I hope next year will be the year, where the commercial part will blast. And then we only have this is why sometimes I see where Serie A will be if everything goes as I see it now and as we are planning and we are preparing it. We might not need a Serie A, but if we want to go to States, we do need a Serie A. So this is why the next milestone, it's the becoming rentable. So I can see that in 2024. The other milestone will be the going in States. This will be a very we have to have the shoulders to do that. So we may do it in 2025. So accompanied by a Series A fundraising, an eventual exit for us. It is there are many options actually. We have Dassault System that might want to buy us. We have Honeywell in States that we are an interesting opportunity for them. There is Vector in Germany also that could be interesting. We already had some, and each of them, Vector and Dassault System, already contacted us, and we do a presentation for them, and they were, but we tried it. So it is very important for them not to see us as competitors, because they are all here actually, those guys.
Mm-hmm.
But actually we can go there on the starting from the timing part, we go on the functional part. It's some little bit complicated to explain, but we could do it, but we don't want to let them see we could do that, because then they will see us as competitors, and we don't want that, because we are just flies for the moment and they are like elephants. So yeah.
Understood. And last but not least, can you tell us a bit more also about this current round? So, you know, who's participating in it? How much is already committed? You had the support of the With Angels group, but also other investors.
Yes, we have of like 500K, a little bit less than 500. We have WIT that participated. We have a French business angel, a former Microsoft CEO, France CEO. And we have like a not a VC, because it is like an, how do you say it? It's consulting for all the a company doing consulting for us that has a part of where they invest. So they were the other investors, and we did have a French Tech Seed for 200K. French Tech Seed, there are like options of BPI. And they give us where you, when you do the first when you are very young, so up until the 3 years old, and it's like they are putting their seed. For example, if our company becomes very interesting and like a unicorn, they might transform these options in shares, just to show that this is a French technology. So, but they do that for really for unicorns. So I hope it will be, we will have that problem, but I don't think we will be like a unicorn.
All right. Well, thank you so much for taking the time in the presentation. So just as a reminder for SeedBlink investors, the round will go live from the 20th of September until the 20th of October. So if you have any additional questions, feel free to address to Adriana either directly per email or via the discussions tab on the SeedBlink platform. I'm sure that Adriana has been very responsive so far. So I'm very happy to be able to support StatInf in their fundraising journey, and I wish you all the very best.
Thank you, Eric.